Hello there, Nick here. So I went to the BFI Doctor Who 20 Years of the Revival celebration event on Sunday the 4th of May 2025. Yes, Star Wars Day, and we were doing a Doctor Who event. So I went with Zach, our good friend of the channel. We went to the event, which was done in collaboration with the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. So initially, I did record a little bit for the vlog at the very start on my way walking down, but because I actually was actually with this newer phone because the one I'm recording on had a bit of a problem in November, so got a new phone in December, and then this one is more for home stuff, and this one for going outside. So, but because of when I was recording it, I tried having it that way around, but it was still locked onto this way around. So I was trying to go landscape, but it went portrait for some reason. Not even portrait in the filming; it was just still in portrait mode. But I put positioned the phone landscape, so it looked awkward and didn't work out right. So I had to get rid of that bit, which was a shame because I think I wore myself out a little bit when talking whilst walking to the train station. However, I did record a little bit on the train that I then posted onto Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and here it is now. Hello everyone, Nick here, and I'm off to the BFI to see the Doctor Who 20th anniversary celebrations presented, or done in at least in collaboration with the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. Got my Doctor Who 60th anniversary t-shirt on. I did record this introduction actually walking down from home to my local train station, Bishop Stortford, but I recorded it in a slightly awkward angle, so hopefully this one's a bit better. I'm on the train now, passing Croydon, so yeah, we're on our way. Let's go have some fun. Yeah, apologies for the quieter talking in that bit because there were some other people in the carriage. I didn't feel too comfortable talking too loudly. Plus train noise, the train would be a bit loud. It wasn't very busy. It was actually fairly quiet. But again, I just didn't want to talk too loudly when there was too many people around without someone else being there with me to talk to. Anyway, eventually making ourselves way down to the BFI. Now, sometimes I do go through the West End and go to Forbidden Planet, FOP, on Shaftesbury Avenue, and also the Animatal shop that recently opened there. I popped in there, had a look around, that was cool. Prices were pretty expensive though. And then Forbidden Planet and FOP were closed, so I couldn't go into them. I think I was told Forbidden Planet apparently opens at 12 PM on a Sunday. So don't go to Forbidden Planet on a Sunday morning if you're in London. But yeah, we were down at the BFI when it was open, and then I didn't go back via that way, so never mind, there's always next time, unless it's Sunday morning, of course. FOP, I think FOP was probably just closed on Sundays, which makes sense. Most shops are closed on a Sunday. Most of the West End looks half closed. So I actually ended up being at the BFI before it was opened up. It was 11 o'clock it opened up, or that's when it was supposed to open, so I was there pretty early. But hung out with Joe and James Wallace and a few other people as we waited. And then I had a bit of lunch before going in, and then we went into the screening. And I met Zach in a few minutes later when he came into the screen. The screening wasn't as busy as most of the other screenings, even though tickets had supposedly sold out, although some had been returned, and some other people couldn't make it, meaning that some seats that had been bought, like one of the ones Joe bought, people couldn't make it, so those seats would be vacant unless maybe an usher sat down there like sometimes there was. So we were saying at the end of the event, hopefully that doesn't deteriorate the BFI from showing more New Who stuff, because it has been predominantly classic series until now, exclusively classic series in fact, plus the Cushing movies in July 2022, which I was on holiday for, so I couldn't go even if I tried. We are hoping that they might do something for Series 2 next year. But other than the 50th celebrations, they hardly do new series stuff, because they do the classic series ones for the collection box sets, a story from each set, of all the ones that they've done screening for. They'll show a story for the set, along with this preview of the extras and the trailers and so forth, and the reanimations. So for the last couple of years, they've done events for the collection sets and the animations, and they'll screen a story from the former, the story of the latter. We had one of each in February. Spearhead from Space for Season 7 and the Savages animations. So do check out those vlogs if you want to have a look. Or maybe for new Revival era / Bad Wolf era DVDs and Blu-rays when they get released. Like the Season 2 set is coming out later in the year. So that'd be cool if they had some tie-ins with new complete series box sets. They did, however, do their regular quiz at the start that people can get involved with and win some prizes. And the first question was, when did the episode Dalek first air? And I was like, shut up and shouted dick. 30th of April 2005. And yeah, I got it. I got a prize. This was my third win. The first one was the Revelation of the Daleks one in 2022, where I won the Macra Terror DVD, even though I already got it. This was part of a someone else actually had won that one as part of a question that answering a question that they said, but I think they got half the prize they said, but then said they already got that DVD, so they just did that as a separate bonus question, and they read the question off the back of the DVD about which companion was the one who was, quote, taken over, possessed by the Macra in that story. And yes, I'd already had that DVD as well, but it feels so good to win a prize regardless anyway. And then for the Abominable Snowmen one, I can't remember what question it was, but I won the Radio Times tea cozy. It wasn't, hey, that wasn't even the strangest thing they had there. They've had some non Doctor Who prizes there, like Abominable, the film, the DreamWorks film for that, and also I think a Midsummer Murders thing for this one because Corey Benton was in an episode of Midsummer Murders. I'll get on to the special guests in a second, but my prize for this time round was a CD of Doctor Who and the Face of Evil audio version of the I believe it's the novelization audiobook. So written by Terence Dix and read by Louise Jameson. Louise Jameson, who plays Leela in the BBC TV series, reads Terence Dix's unabridged novelization of the 1977 TV serial by Chris Boucher. So yeah, this is the Target novelization audiobook. Also, a Katie Manning signed picture of the black and white picture of the Daleks from Planet of the Daleks, which I believe was left over from one of the Riverside studio events hosted by the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. This would not be my last autograph from today, as we had special guests attending, and I didn't even know that they were coming until I read a post on the train from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society that there was some guests coming and they were doing some autographs and signatures, and here was the prices for autograph, picture, combo. And it was Corey Benton, who played Henry Van Statten in Dalek, Anna Louise Plowman, who played Diana Goddard in Dalek, Camille Kadori, who played Jackie Tyler in Series 1, 2, and 4, and Big Finish Productions, and Robert Sherman, writer of Dalek, plus many Big Finish audios, including Matt Moyer's favourite Big Finish audio, or one of them at least, The Chimes of Midnight, as well as Jubilee, the inspiration to Dalek. He's also written novelizations of both stories, which are coming out later this year, and he told me that people are going to see Chimes in a bit of a different light when that book comes out. So hold on tight for that, folks. Come autumn, we'll find out what he's talking about. He also novelized Dalek, which I'm wondering how the four versions are going to differ, because Jubilee and Dalek already have quite significant differences despite the main premise, and then Dalek's novelization adds and changes a few things from the TV episode, but still remains fairly the same anyway. So I'm wondering how Jubilee's novelization is going to compare to Jubilee the audio, as well as Dalek the TV story and the Dalek novelization. Plenty to compare, again, later this year. Also attending the Q&A alongside Corey, Anna Louise, Camille, and Rob Sherman was Joe Ahern, the director of both stories, Dalek and Father's Day, that were being screened at the event, as well as Boomtown, Bad Wolf, and The Parting of the Ways, all from Series 1. And also at the Q&A was Murray Gold, the composer of series 1 to 10 and series 14 onwards, or season 1 Bad Wolf. 60 specials counted in that. Plus, they also talked with the president of the Doctor Who Appreciation Society at the start as well. And also, he and Frank Skinner awarded an award to Murray Gold for his contribution to the franchise. That was very nice.
That's the first time I've ever said it's not about me. I'm very honoured to hand this over to you, as you say, absolute centre of New Who. And also, you also really made me very happy today. I thought it was my old age that meant I couldn't hear the dialogue. It's actually your fault. So yeah, I mean, I grew up with Doctor Who. My first Doctor was William Hartnell, and the music in those days sounded like a very tuneful MRI scan. But now you have turned it into something spectacular and beautiful. And when I hear the music from Doomsday, without the pictures and without the acting, I cry like I cried when I first saw that scene. So thank you. We all would love to thank you for really imprinting that. I got in the other day and my son was playing I Am the Doctor on the piano, which is a very special, altogether now. Murray, you are an absolute hero of all of us here. Thank you so much. Congratulations on this award.
Murray did have a bit of a speech, but I didn't film that bit. But yeah, this was a really great and fun screening and a fun day. And it was cool to see the Q&A panels, the Dalek panel with Corey, Anna Louise, Joe and Robert, and the Father's Day panel with Joe again, Camille and Murray, and then Murray being given his DWAS award by the president of the society and Frank Skinner. Sadly, Murray and Joe were not going to do the autographs. Joe was apparently going to, by the sounds of it, but I guess he became unavailable. But I did get autographs from Corey, Anna, Camille, and Robert. And he gave me a called Exterminate up there. Yeah. If I'd known they were coming, I probably would have brought the Series 1 Steelbook or one of my DVDs of the Series 1, because I had one since my 8th birthday in 2007. But the discs were really bad, so in 2014 I got another one. And Series 2, I got a second copy of that I also got that for my birthday in 2007. I got a second copy around 2020, maybe a bit sooner than that. But I think the discs on the first one were still were probably better, because the other one I got from the Series 1 second one I got was from Forbidden Planet. The Series 2 one was from CEX, so the discs may not have been as perfect. But I don't think either of them were too bad. But I got them exactly this exact same copies, but the new purchase ones were nice. Looked more pristine condition, as opposed to kind of battered the older two have been a bit. And also in the case of the Series 1 one, it was before the re-releases, or around the time of the re-releases being released anyway. But yeah, if I had known it was happening sooner, I would have brought the DVD or one of the DVDs or the Steelbook down to be to have a signing on them. Probably means I would have had to have paid twice as much as what I actually ended up doing, or at the very least, well, maybe not twice as much, but or at the very least an extra half of what I paid added on. I believe it was 20 for autograph and 10 for picture / selfie, and 25 for combo for Corey, Anna and Camille, and then 10 for autograph 10 for picture and 15 for combo for Roberts. So, and I'm not sure about Joe Ahern. So, I would have at the very least had to have paid another, because I did the combos, probably would have had to have paid an extra £60, 60, £70 for this other signature. So yeah, that would be 107. That would have been 160 as opposed to 90. Plus £10 for the print, which is the other thing I could have gone with, but again, that's cost more. They probably would have had signatures on here if I didn't get the individual ones, but I like the individual ones. But yeah, also the Doctor Society was selling these prints, £10 each, because they were their ones, not the BFI's. But the BFI did do their regular, usual free postcards. Yay! Actually, funny enough, I actually got another one, but I gave it to Zach, and so we had one each. And then they were coming around again, so we got and Zach was getting another one. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll get another one, because initially I had planned to have two. I mean, usually I put them one with the collection box set and one with the DVD of that story we screen if it's a collection set, and if it's an animation. If you get one would go with the steelbook. If you get two, the other one would go with the DVD. And if it ended up getting three, one would go with the Blu-ray. But they've been getting a bit strict on those lately. The amount of postcards you can get. So I think getting two is good. One of them will go with the steelbook, and one will go with probably my original DVD, because that's my main copy. I wonder what 8-year-old me who, when he got those complete first and complete second series DVD box sets on that birthday, a couple of days after series 3 episode 742 had aired, I wonder what he would think nearly 18 years later, having one of these awesome artworks on a postcard from a British Film Institution, included inside one of those box sets, and that he went to an event that featured a lot of people from those episodes, both behind the camera and on screen, talking about it and having a good time, and we screened the episodes on the big screen. I mean, apart from IMAX, it was the biggest screen of the BFI, so it's got to be one of the biggest screens in the country, if not, or at the very least, the BFI's second biggest screen behind IMAX, which is the biggest screen in the country, apparently. I imagine if they put an episode of Doctor Who on IMAX. Wicked. It'd probably have to be one of the more recent ones, those like 2017 or later. I'm not quite sure. I don't think any episode probably would be able to go onto IMAX without upscaling. Oh well, we've still got NFTs 1 to 4. That's National Film Theatre screens 1 to 4, but the BFI used to be called the National Film Theatre, but now it's the British Film Institution. The original name does make sense because it's next to the National Theatre, but the new name is even better, isn't it? But I do like they kept the screen names the same. Heck, the studio became NFT4 not too long ago, so yeah, they're still keeping up that tradition. Oh, and as a bonus thing, up in the corner here, I don't know if you would have seen, I got a new book, and a new old book, and that is Apollo 23 by Justin Richards, which is one of the first 3 books that came out during Series 5's airing in 2010, featuring the 11th Doctor and Amy Pond. I think, if I'm correct, it's actually the first list. Yeah, it's the first listed, so depending on release dates, this is the first one. The first 11th Doctor book. Or at the very least, the first one that's listed. They could have been released simultaneously. And they're just listed in alphabetical order. No, it's not. I forgot on Glamour Chase and King's Dragon are verse, but nucleotides in the middle with an N. I thought, okay, maybe it's this title, comma, ver. But in that case, no, King's Dragon go above Nuclear Time, and Forgotten Army go above Night of the Humans. So I guess that is the order of release. So starting with Apollo 23, which I think I had read at school a couple years ago. From the school library, or from maybe Harlow Library or Bishop Stortford Library. think it was good. I think I liked it better than the other two books from the first wave, but I don't think I was particularly huge on those two. I think the following range, although I don't know if I read Nuclear Time, but the other two I think were a bit better. I can't remember. That was years ago. But yeah, it was cool to get this, and I got this from Zach because I paid for it. It was initially an eBay listing, but because of it was a postage, so I think paid for postage, and I thought well, we could just give it to me on the day. There was the option to collect it in person, but by that time he'd cancelled the order and he just asked me to pay through PayPal, and so I collected it in from as arranged. But yeah, thank you, Zach, for the book. So I can't really get into space right now where I want it to go, so I'm just going to leave it here. But thank you for that. And now I've just got one more of the first 6 11th Doctor books to get Nuclear Time. And then after the signings, we didn't partake in the quiz of Rassilon. They were doing a quiz of Rassilon afterwards as well. We didn't partake in it officially, but we did when we were hearing the questions out, and we were like, oh, it's this and that, such and such. So like we were having a bit of fun doing our own ins and outs of partaking in it whilst having some drinks and stuff. I actually managed to successfully work out the exact number of episodes between the 10th Planet Part 1 and Twice Upon a Time when they got to that question, which was 709. It's less if you're going for parts 2, 3, and 4, but it's specifically from part 1 onwards, so yeah, 709. It took me a bit of time to work that out because I was working out how many episodes they would have gotten up to that point in the era, starting with An Earthly Child episode 1 up to the 10th Planet episode 1, and how many episodes from Time of the Doctor episode 800 of the whole show, because I knew that was episode 800. How many episodes Twice Upon a Time was from that? 40. And so I was able to take off the amount of episodes from An Earthly Child to episode 1 to The Smugglers Part 4, because the next one up would be the 10th Planet. Took those off Twice Upon a Time's number, and that's how we ended up with 709. I think we got a couple of them right as well. Also, I got myself a beer at the BFI, but they, even though I was letting Jerry also borrow my discount, because Jerry came down as well. He didn't come to the event, but he popped down, and I let him borrow my BFI discount to get 10% off his drink, but they forgot to do it to mine. And since that they can do hot food, and I was really keen on the peanuts, having the nuts, so they said that they'll just give it a bit of a top up to make up for it. Then, so when I went to have the bit of a top up, they would then ask like, "Okay, would you like to have a pint?" So I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So it would actually be twice, because I had a half pint, so it'd be one for the price of half. And they gave me a whole new one on top of the quarter I'd already had, and then I finished the other one. Finished the first one quickly, and then yeah. So basically, I had 1.5 pints for the half of half a pint. I mean, they were incredibly generous doing that. That was like, yeah, I mean, they could easily have just topped up the half pint and made it 3/4, or say I finished that and then topped that up again, full half pint glass to be a 1 pint. But no, they went straight for a brand new entire pint on top of what I had, and then had to finish. Yeah, I think that was enough. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's enough. I had quite a few coffees that day as well. 2 in the morning, one at breakfast and one on the way down, and then one at the BFI and one on the way back from the Starbucks at Liverpool Street Station. So yeah, so I had quite a bit of alcohol and caffeine inside my system that evening. But it was fun, and hanging out with everybody was great, and talking with people, hanging out with Jokey and etc. Also, Jerry got me this, an 11th Doctor mug to match my 12th Doctor mug that I've done a video on. And he said that he got it at the Earl's Court mug shop, the one near Earl's Court Tube Station, when he, Matt, and Jean went there after the London Film Comic Con in the autumn, in November last year, and they went there, popped in, and they each got a 12th Doctor mug exactly like my one. But he says whilst he was there, he got me this one, and he brought it round to give it to me. And I was like, "Oh, is this an early birthday present?" He said, "Oh no, because I didn't know if he knew when my birthday was, or that it was really close to it, because at time of recording, it's May the 5th. No, it's May the 6th. It's the Tuesday, 2 days later. So it's May the 6th. My birthday is May 21st, so it's 2 weeks and a day from now. Depending when this video comes up. Not sure when this video goes out. Hopefully later today or tomorrow or later in the week. So about 2 weeks' time, it's my birthday. I'll be 26. So yeah, so he then said, okay, yeah, consider it a early birthday present. But I guess it was because he saw the mug whilst they were there, and he thought it would be a nice gift for me, as they were getting the same 12th Doctor mug that I had and did a video for it on for Capaldi month. And then Matt's one that he bought is the one he did for that April Fool's Day video he did when he parodied said mug review. Cheers, Jerry. So yeah, that was really awesome. Such a great day. Met some great people. Great event. Awesome to see the episodes on the big screen. With some great people, getting some great gifts from them. Apollo 23. Okay, technically I paid for that, but it was still nice to get it anyway. And the mug. Some cool stuff won in the quiz, some great autographs, and a nice print, and some great postcards as well. The postcards are as per usual, along with the autographs. And yeah, really good time. I may have been a little bit tipsy, but hey, it was fun. Oh, and I got some socks, some BFI coloured socks. I don't know if I brought those up yet. I bought those at the shop when I went round as well. To have a look, which joined the 2 pairs of BFI socks I think I got, if not last time, then the time before. Definitely one of the last 2 times I got some BFI socks, and I wore one of those pairs to the event. So now I'm up to 4 pairs of BFI socks. So that's awesome. If I remember, I'll record a little bit showing off the 2 new pairs at the very least, maybe even all 4 pairs when they come back. Because the other 2 went into because they all went into the wash. So yeah. So these are the socks that I got at the BFI. The one on the left is, according to my receipt, it's inspired by The Shining, and the one on the right is inspired by Twin Peaks. So in the case of the former, the carpet pattern. Not sure about the latter. I haven't seen or really know too much about Twin Peaks, so I'm guessing it's either a floral curtain colours. Also, sorry about the birds being very noisy outside. And here is my complete collection, as of now, of my BFI socks. I don't know how many more socks they do. The one on the left is the BFI pattern, the modern pattern. The second one, left to right, is the original curtains for NFT1 or Screen 1, and then, as mentioned, the ones on the right are inspired by the carpet in The Shining for the 3rd and Twin Peaks for the 4th, or curtain in Twin Peaks. Again, don't quite know. Yeah, that's the collection so far, and I'm not sure if they do any other socks. I only really noticed the 2 on the left the last time, or one of the last 2 times, and then the other 2 on the right this most recent time. So if they have any more that they'll put out on sale when I'm around, then I will get them and add them to the collection. So that was a great day. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, and then travel back was interesting because I did a different route for a bit. Northern Line down to Kennington and then back up to Moorgate, as opposed to going a bit more direct. And then at Moorgate, walked down through the Elizabeth Line, part of the platforms, which was probably a bit longer than taking me on the subsurface underground line, Circle Hammersmith City Metropolitan. But oh well, it was something I haven't done yet. Maybe next time I'll go to Elephant and Castle on the Bakerloo and then change for the Northern Line there and see how it goes. Unless the next time I go is a weekday, in which case Waterloo City Line, baby. Just like last time, actually, funny enough. Unless I want to go to the West End, in which case my usual. Anyway, so that'll be it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.